We're going to have a full discussion, but before we do, what we're going to do is we're going to look at where we've been and remind ourselves and put ourselves back into that emotional scene. I'm going to try get through this without crying. It is time for our alt recap of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and the Guardians had barely finished one Radiohead track on Nowhere by the time they were thrust into action after an attack from Adam Warlock attempting to kidnap Rocket leaves them needing intensive care. They travel to Orgo Corp, which sounds like what websites will end in when we use up every .com and .ie. While comatose, Rocket's life flashes before his eyes, from raccoon to science experiment to murderer. You know, that old chestnut. We learn how the High Evolutionary used him to help forge a perfect new world before trying to murder him, and successfully murdered all of his friends when they tried to escape, because, you know, just experimenting on animals doesn't quite hit for someone attempting to be evil genius. New Gamora, who's now hanging out with the Ravagers, offers a reluctant assist, which prompts Quill to try and get her to rekindle the memories that only he has. It's a bit like a peppier version of The Notebook, to be honest. They track down the High Evolutionary on Counter-Earth, only to find he's planning to self-destruct the whole thing and start again with the knowledge that he can get by retrieving Rocket. Quill barely escapes with Groot, because apparently talking trees can fly now, and they're able to extract the passcode to override Rocket's kill switch. It sounds techie, but it was really probably one of the most emotional moments in MCU history. Nebula, Mantis, and Drax, however, are trapped on the High Evolutionary shift with a bunch of Juju kids. I'm not being anti-Semitic there, by the way. That's what they're actually called. Juju kids is their name, okay? I'm not saying that, right? Turns out the guy with the Messiah complex doing experiments to give animals sentience and kidnapping children is crazy. Shock horror. His crew realizes, only for him to vaporize them almost immediately. However, the Guardians unite with Kraglin, Cosmo, and the rest of the B team, coming in for the save to free the kids and animals and to kill the High Evolutionary, with Adam Warlock saving Quill from freezing in space because they'd paid Will Poulter a lot of money and not really given him much significant to do to that point, if we're being honest. After one final adventure, the Guardians went their separate ways. Quill went back to Earth to hang out with his granddad, keeping getting those Kevin Feige checks instead of jumping ship to DC. Mantis to have her wild college years. Rockets to need the new look Guardians. Nebula and Drax to look after Nowhere. And the MCU wondering what the fuck they're supposed to do now. The one guy capable of making an amazing Marvel movie is off to run their competitor studio, because from now on you can come and get your love in DC, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.